Lanka Bhankaram Urlanga Sindho Salilam Salilam Yashokavahi Janakatma Jaya Adathanil Dadahalanka Namamitam Pranjaliranjaniyam Manojavam Marutatulya Vegam Jitendriyam Buddhimatam Varishtam Atatmajam Vanrutamukyam Shri Ramadutam Sharanam Prapadhe Shri Ramadutam Sharanam Prapadhe Shri Ramadutam Sharanam Prapadhe Shri Ramadutam Sharanam Prapadhe Anjaneya Matipatalam Kanchanadri Kamaniya Vigraham Parijata Taramudavasanam Bhavayami Pavamananandanam Yatra Yatra Raghunath Kirtanam Tatra Tatra Kritamastakhanjali Vashpavani Paripurna Lochana Martinamat Rakshasantakam Bola Bhajananga Bali Hanuman Ki Jai. Okay, had to fix something here. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram The drum machine's not turning on. Give me a break. There we go. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri 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 Ram, Krishna Hare, Jai Jai Ram Krishna Hare. Jai Jai Ram Krishna Hare, Jai Jai Ram Krishna Hare. Jai Jai Ram Krishna Hare, Jai Jai Ram Krishna Hare. Jai Jai Ram Krishna Hare, Jai Jai Ram Krishna Hare. Jai Jai Ram Krishna Hare, Jai Jai Ram Krishna Hare. Jai Jai Ram Krishna Hare, Jai Jai Ram Krishna Hare. Jai Jai Ram Krishna Hare, Jai Jai Ram Krishna Hare. Jai Jai Ram Krishna Hare, Jai Jai Ram Krishna Hare. Jai Jai Ram Krishna Hare, Jai Jai Ram Krishna Hare. Jai Jai Ram Krishna Hare, Jai Jai Ram Krishna Hare. Jai Jai Ram Krishna Hare, Jai Jai Ram Krishna Hare. Jai Jai Ram Krishna Hare, Jai Jai Ram Krishna Hare. Jai Jai Ram Krishna Hare, Jai Ram Krishna Hare. Jai Jai Ram Krishna Hare, Jai Jai Ram Krishna Hare. Sitaram, 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 Jai Sitaram. 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 Sitaram, 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 Sitaram. Sitaram, 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 Jai Sitaram. Sitaram, 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 Jai Sitaram. Sitaram, 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 Jai Sitaram. Sitaram, 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 Jai Sitaram. Sitaram, 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 Jai Sitaram. Sitaram, 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 Jai Sitaram. Sitaram, 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 Jai Sitaram. Sitaram Jai Sitaram. Sitaram, 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 Jai Sitaram. Sitaram, 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 Jai Sitaram. Sitaram, 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 Jai Sitaram. Sitaram, 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 Jai Sitaram. Sitaram. Okay, so this is not going to work. So give me a second. Close this. Open it again. Now it's working. Okay. Sitaram, Sitaram. Ram Nam Karne Se Sab Pura Ho Jata Hai. So Maharaji always said, from going on repeating these names, Ram Nam, names of God, everything is accomplished. Everything is made full and complete. That's a very big statement. And to me, it feels like a ripening process, you know, that repeating these names is like putting our hearts out in the sun to ripen. I think the biggest problem that we have is our expectations. We think this is going to happen, I'm going to be in total bliss, I'm going to be happy for the rest of my life, I'll never have any problems. It should feel like this, it should feel like that, all this stuff in our heads about practice. The main thing is to just do it. Just the doing of it is such a big thing because we're so crazy busy, so lost in our dreamland, so busy in our lives that we don't even feel the time going by. So these names plant the seeds of waking up in this dream and finding some real love, real truth, real being, real peace. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo 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 Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Ram Ram Sita Ram, Ram Ram Sita Ram, Ram Sita Ram, Ram Sita Ram. Ram Ram Sita Ram, Ram Ram Sita Ram, Ram Sita Ram, Ram Ram Sita Ram. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Ram Ram Sitaram, Ram Ram Sitaram, Sitaram Sitaram, Ram Ram Sitaram. Ram Ram Sitaram, Ram Ram Sitaram, Sitaram Sitaram, Ram Ram Sitaram. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Ram Ram Nitaram, Ram Ram Sitaram, Taram Sitaram, Ram Ram Sitaram. Ram Ram Sitaram, Ram Ram Nitaram, Nitaram Sitaram, Ram Ram Sitaram, Ram Ram. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Ram Ram Sitaram, Ram Ram Sitaram, Taram Sitaram, Ram Ram Sitaram. Ram Ram Sitaram, Ram Ram Sitaram, Nitaram Sitaram, Ram Ram Sitaram. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Ram Ram Sitaram, Ram Ram Sitaram, Taram Sitaram, Ram Ram Sitaram. Ram Ram Sitaram Ram Ram Sitaram Taram Sitaram Ram Ram Sitaram. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Ram Ram Sitaram Ram Ram Sitaram Taram Sitaram Ram Ram Sitaram. Ram Ram Sitaram Ram Ram Sitaram Taram Sitaram Ram Ram Sitaram. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 Saraswate Namaha. Om Aim Saraswate Namaha. Saraswati, 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 Saraswati Namaha Saraswati Namaha Saraswati, 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 Saraswati Saraswati Namaha Saraswati 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 Namaha Saraswati 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 Om Saraswati Namaha Saraswati 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 I'm going to try to sing this Hare Krishna. I haven't sung in a long time. Nina reminded me of the melody recently. I don't know if I can sing it, but we'll see. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, I'll work on it. All right. We did that on Breath of the Heart, and I have totally forgotten it. Okay, let's see what we got here. So next week we're at Boone. It'll be streamed online because it's sold out. So you can find out about that. The week after we'll be at Omega. And then for 3 days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then Monday, Nina and I are doing an afternoon together of Hanuman Chalisas and workshop stuff. And 2 weeks later, we're at Bhakti Fest in Joshua Tree. And the next week in Kripalu. And 2 weeks later, we're in New York, October 6th and 7th, back in my living room, the church in New York. Good, that'll be fun. And later in the year, I'll be in Australia, and then be doing a retreat in Bali, on Bali, November 11th to 18th. Someone's asking for an overview of the different versions of the Ramayana. Well, in my tradition, you could say, in my lineage, we read the Ramacharitamanus, which is the Tulsidas Ramayana, which is the version of the Ramayana written by Tulsidas in the 16th century, 1600s. And it's a devotional way of telling the story. There's a lot. It's the same story as in the Valmiki, which is the original, but it's told in from a different point of view. And it reveals more of the true nature of Rama and Sita and Hanuman and the whole party. So that's the one. You can get it on Amazon. It's called the Rama Charita Manasa. Maybe somebody will put it in the chat box there. Rama Charita Manasa. Manasa by Tulsidas. And we've been reading the Gita Press version of it since before I went to India, because Ramdas had given me his copy to read in 68, 69. So the Gita Press, and it's written in very sweet Indian English. It's the one I'm used to, so I like it the most. So there's many different versions of the Ramayana. Each one has a different way of telling the story. And for instance, there's a version of the Ramayana called the Adhyatma, which basically means spiritual, the Adhyatma Ramayana, which tells it much more of the revealing Rama, his true nature, and the true nature of Sitaram. So, but that's a little harder to find. But one should start, if you don't know the whole story, William Buck wrote a version of the Ramayana in English. William Buck, B-U-C-K, the Ramayana. And he tells the story in a very beautifully simple, powerful way. So if you don't know the whole story of the Ramayana, that's a good way to start. And then you can move on to the Ramacharitamanus, which brings you more deeply into the essence of Rama. Someone's learning the Hanuman Chalisa, and they say, there's a line missing where I say, Syavara Ramachanda Padajaya Sharanam. That's something that's added as you wish. It's not part of the original Chalisa. It's just a bowing to Sitaram and Sita's husband Ram to the feet. I take refuge is what that means. So as far as learning the Chalisa, just keep singing it. You'll learn it. Sing it, read it, chant it. You don't have to memorize it. It's not a test. Somebody mentioned Maui. Yes, of course. We've donated we've made a donation to the Maui Food Bank. And there are many organizations that are providing help for the people on Maui who have been burnt out of their houses and have no power, no food, no medical care. So anybody who wants to contribute, you can find ways to do that. We gave to the Maui Food Bank. There's a long question here. I think I'll have to pass on that for now. Maybe I can write something about it. Someone's asking why I don't tour in Canada. We do tour in Canada. We were there a few years ago. It's a little bit difficult to get permission to get up there, and it becomes a little complicated to tour up there, but we do try to get up there as regularly as we can. I've been in Toronto, I've been in Montreal, I've been in some very strange places there. And of course Halifax, which is not a strange place, but on the way to Halifax we played in a very unusual place. Somebody's asking about the updates about the kirtan on Maui, the kirtan and the retreat. As far as I know, at this time, both of those events are going to happen. That's all I know. If it changes, we will definitely put up an announcement. But as far as I know, we are going there in December. November and December. Whenever I'm suffering in life, I remember to do Hanuman Chalisa every day. But when life becomes good, I sort of forget about it. Then when something bad's happen, I immediately start thinking that I got punished because I didn't continue chanting the Chalisa. How to get out of this transactional form of devotion? How to get out of it? Well, I don't know. This is just a trip you're running on yourself. I don't know what to say. It's a program that's running where you think you're getting punished for not doing something. That's kind of, that's from like the Catholic Church or something. But the idea is to keep doing practice regularly. And it's not about how you feel. It's about planting the seeds of something deeper. And when life becomes good, we forget. We get lost in our pleasures. And then we pay a price for that, because when we get lost in the pleasures and they end, we feel suffering. Life rears its ugly head, so to speak, again. And then we go back to our practice. That's not the best way to approach practice, but if that's the best we can do, that's the best we can do. Someone writes that they had cancer and, or is it the same person? Talking about learning the Bajrang Ban to help with symptoms, that Ram Dass was trying to learn the Bajrang Ban to help with symptoms from his stroke. Can this prayer help me with my cancer symptoms? I don't know. I don't know what to say about that. Siddhima told Ram Dass that if he learned or repeated Bajrang Ban, which is another long prayer to Hanuman, that he would walk. And he tried to learn it a number of times, but he couldn't retain, his brain wasn't, because of the stroke, the brain wasn't working. So he had a very difficult time. He couldn't really learn it. I don't know, I can't tell you that if you do that, that will help with your symptoms of your cancer. I'm sorry, I don't know what to say about that. But there are meditations that work specifically with pain, physical pain, and you should definitely investigate that. How does keeping a strict spiritual atmosphere help your spirituality? Like, have you cut ties with toxic people and have intentionally done a sweep of anyone, anything that's negative in your life? Oh my goodness. Sweetheart, it doesn't work like that. First of all, your idea of a spiritual atmosphere is one where nothing will challenge you and nothing will bring you down. But you're not brought down by the outside world. You're brought down by your own stuff. I haven't cut ties with anybody because they're toxic. Nobody's toxic. People suffer. People are confused. People are in pain, and they express that outwardly sometimes, and other people can be affected by that. That's good work, to be around people like that at a certain point. It does make sense at a certain point to kind of get your practice started. But behind your question is this idea that you're going to find some time and some place where nothing will ever bother you and you'll be able to meditate. That ain't going to happen. So that idea, trying to find that place where nothing will ever bother you, you'll never find it. Because what's bothering you is inside your head. I'm sorry, this thing is making a noise here. That's not the way it works. If it did, that would be very nice, but it doesn't. The only thing negative in my life and anybody's life is our own thought processes, our own negative emotions. And that just comes from our karmas and our experiences and our life. The negativity is inside, and so it colors everything we see. Maharaji didn't see toxic people. He saw souls that were confused and in pain. And he did what he could to help anyone he could. So, don't try to find some little corner to live in where nothing will ever challenge you, because you'll never find it. Develop the inner strength and develop the compassion and kindness so that whatever comes to you is melted by your own love and inner strength. That's the best you can do. Good luck. If I could say anything to young devotees of Maharaji, what would that sound like? What do you mean? I don't know. Is this one question here? So essentially we are timeless, formless, enlightened entities that are all interconnected, one, existing in loving bliss with God. Okay. Yet for some reason we are tasked with countless incarnations inhabiting flawed, doomed meat suits, learning to overcome the accompanying self-destructive, egocentric human minds. Sounds good. You think too much. Give it a rest, okay? I started regular practicing of Hanuman Chalisa just during COVID, and I used to sing Hanuman Chalisa twice a day, and now it's only one time a day. The noise in my mind is back again now, how to control it again. You can't control it. You can just continue to release it, come back to the sound of the name. If we're going to help ourselves, we have to develop some continuity in practice. In life, we can't just keep getting washed away by our stuff and then crawling back and trying to find some peace of mind. That's never going to work. We need to find we need to understand how this works a little bit. Our real suffering comes because of the way we see ourselves and the world, what we identify with. Our own negative emotions, our own fears, our own anger, our own shame, grief, selfishness, etc., etc. And so we see that in the outside world, and we suffer because of that. If one is going to find some peace of mind, one has to practice letting go, has to develop a practice to train ourselves to keep releasing the negative thoughts and negative emotions and negative reactions that we have all day long, all lifelong. Nobody can do it for us, so we have to do it if we're going to find some peace and some juice, real juice in life, real love, real kindness, real joy. There's a lot to overcome, and the world is not helping us because there's a lot of suffering in the world right now. It's a very difficult time. But that doesn't mean that we need to let it destroy us. We don't have to let it destroy us. But if we're going to get that kind of strength, I encourage you to look wherever you can and try to find some way of connecting to yourself, capital S self. It's not a thing you find. You don't grab it, but you find it, you recognize it by letting go of the negative stuff. You don't have to you can't make it up. You already have a self, a true self, a true being. You're here, but we don't know it. So in order to recognize that, we have to let go of our reactions and all our emotional negativity and all our stuff. And so you need to find some way of doing that. Maharaj said that the Guru does not only have to meet you on this physical plane, but is also beyond form. For someone who hasn't met their Guru yet, can we view Maharaji as a form of our Guru? Absolutely, you can. If you feel drawn to Neem Karoli Baba, Siddhima, Hanuman, Ram, or anything, you can certainly connect with him. He also said, when you think of me, I'm there. He said that. So we're thinking of him right now. He's here. We may not see him. We may not even feel him. But that's our problem, not his. So he said that. The real Guru is not outside of us. The real Guru is not different than our own true being. Sometimes we meet the Guru in another body, and sometimes we don't. There's a book called Whispers in the Heart put together by Parvati, who was with us in India. Stories of people who met Maharaji after he left the body, within themselves, or some of them even in dreams, etc., etc. Whispers in the heart. So, you can certainly meet him in your own heart, in your life, in a real way. Because he's available, he's here. We're the ones who aren't here. So, what would I say to a devotee that never met Maharaji in person? And can true darshan be conveyed through a picture of Baba? Absolutely, sure. Yeah, absolutely. Because the picture is a picture of the body that that guru, that being, lived in. And that form still resonates in the universe. Maybe that body is gone, but the being who used that form to meet the devotees is still here. And so you look at the picture, you're thinking of him. And we may think we're thinking of the body, but it's the being in the body that we're thinking of. And the being that was in that body is everywhere and is here and is available to us. Absolutely. If it's only us who identify with our bodies that think there's an inside and an outside, and there's a self and others. The saints, they don't think that. There's one of us. And they are omnipresent. That's one of the things that great beings are. They're everywhere. And many of them are omniscient and know just about everything that needs to be known. And so they can help us. And some of them are very powerful in terms of being able to remove suffering, or help us remove suffering, or lead us to remove our own suffering, or guide us. So you can absolutely, just because you haven't met, so before I met Maharaji, physically, was he not here? Of course he was here. Then I happened to meet him physically. And that's a whole other story. But that doesn't mean I didn't feel. In fact, I felt Maharaji when I met Ramdas the first time. I didn't realize that that's what I was feeling, but I later realized that it was Maharaji that I was feeling, the love coming through Ramdas at that time. So it's totally possible because it's not outside of us. Because we're deluded and ignorant in terms of reality, we think there's an outside world. Not that there isn't something out there, but we see our version of it, and because we have our stuff, we don't see what we like in that outside world. We don't find happiness out there because we're seeing our version. As our hearts open and our minds clear, the world looks different to us. When we come in touch with ourselves, we don't keep demanding that the world give us what we want in order for us to be happy. We can find that peace inside. So, and it's always available. It's always available, and nobody can do it for you. And if you even hear about these great saints, they're remembering you. They're remembering us. They're awake, we're asleep. So. Namaste-astu Rudra-rupe-bhyah. Om Namah Shivaya Gurave Sachidananda Murtaya Nishprapanchaya Shanta Tejas Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Shivaya Namaha, Shivaya Namaha. Shivaya Namaha, Shivaya Namaha. Shambho Shankara Namah Shivaya, Girija Shankara Namah Shivaya. Shambho Shankara Namah Shivaya, Girija Shankara Namah Shivaya. Arunachaladeva Namah Shivaya. Arunachaladeva Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Shambho Shankara Namah Shivaya. Girija Shankara Namah Shivaya. Shambho Shankara Namah Shivaya. Girija Shankara Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Shambho Shankara Namah Shivaya. Girija Shankara Namah Shivaya. Shambho Shankara Namah Shivaya. Girija Shankara Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Shambho Shankara Namah Shivaya. Girija Shankara Namah Shivaya. Shambho Shankara Namah Shivaya. Girija Shankara Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Shambho Shankara Namah Shivaya. Girija Shankara Namah Shivaya. Shambhu Namah Shivaya. Girija Shankara Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Shambhu Shankara Namah Shivaya. Girija Shankara Namah Shivaya. Shambhu Namah Shivaya. Girija Shankara Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. Shambhu Namah Shivaya. Girija Shankara Namah Shivaya. Shambhu Namah Shivaya. Girija Shankara Namah Shivaya. Om 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 Namah Shivaya. Shiva Namah. Shiva Namah. Shiva Namah. Shiva Namah. Calling out to hungry hearts everywhere through endless time. You who wander, you who thirst, I offer you this body mind. Calling out to hungry spirits everywhere through endless time. Calling out to hungry hearts, all the lost and the left behind. Gather round and share this meal, your joy and your sorrow, I make it mine. Shri Guru Charan Saroj Raja Nijamanu Mukuru Sudari Varano Raghubara Bimala Jasu Jodak Palachari Buddhihin Tanu Janike Sumiram Pavan Kumar Siaram Pallabudhi Vidya Dehu Mohi Harahu Kales Vikar Syavara Ramachanda Padaje Sharanam Jaya Hanuman Gyana Gunasaga Jaya Kapisati Loka Uja Ramaduta Tulta Baladama Anjaniput Pavana Sutana Havira Bikram Bajrang Umati Nirvar Sumati Kesangi Kanchana Varana Viraj Subesa Kanana Kundala Kunchita Kesa Hat Bajra Dvaja Viraj Gandhi Muja Jane Usaj Shankara Suvana Kesari Nandan Teja Pratap Mahajagavan Vidyavan Guni Ati Chatu Ramakaja Karibeko Atu Prabhu Charitra Sunibeko Rasiya Rama Lakhan Sita Manavasi Sukshma Rupa Darisiya Hindika Vikata Rupa Dari Lanka Chara Ima Rupa Dari Asura Sahari Ramachand Kekaj Sava Aya Sanjivana Lakhanadi Aya Shri Raghuvira Harshiralai Raghupati Kinhi Bohut Barai Tuma Mama Priya Bharatai Samavai Sahasabadan Tumaro Jasagao Asakahi Shri Pati Kanta Lagao Sanakadika Brahmadi Munisa Narada Sharada Saita Yamakubera Tigapala Jahante Kabiko Bidkai Sake Kahante Uma Upakara Sugriva Inkina Rama Melaya Raja Padadi Tumaro Mantra Bibhishanama Lankeshwara Bhai Sabha Jagajan Sahasra Jojana Parabhanu Ilyotai Madura Palajan Prabhu Mudrika Mele Mukamai Jaladilangi Gaya Charajanahi Durga Makaj Jagata Kejete Sukam Anugratumare Ramaduare Tumarakava Otana Kya Binu Peza Sab Suklahe Tumhari Sharana Tumara Chakakahu Kodara Apana Tej Samaro Ape Inon Lokahan Katen Kamp Uttapesashan Katane Ave Mahavir Jabanam Suna Asero Gahare Sabakir Japata Nirantara Hanumatavir Sankatate Anuman Churave Anakrama Bachana Dhyana Jolave सब पर राम तपस्वी राजा, इनके काज सकल तुम साझ। और मनोरथ जो कोई लावे, सोवे अमित जीवन फल पावे। चारों युग प्रताप तुम्हारा, है प्रसिद्ध जगत उजियार। साधु संत के तुम रखवारे, असुर निकंदन राम दुलारे। अष्ट सिद्धि नो निधि के दाता, असवर दीन जानकी माता। राम रसायन तुम्हारे पास, सदा रहो रघुपति के दास। तुम्हारे भजन राम को पावे, जन्म जन्म के दुख बिसरावे। अंत काल रघुवर पुर जाई, जहां जन्म बड़े भक्त कहाई। और देवता चित्तन धरई, हनुमत से सर्व सुख करे। संकट कटे मिटे सब पीरा, जो सुमेरे हनुमत बलबीर। जय 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 हनुमान गोसाई, कृपा करो गुरुदेव के नाई। जो सत बार पाठ कर कोई, छूट ही बंदी महासुख होय। जोया पढ़े हनुमान चालीसा, होया सिद्धि साखी गणेशा। तुलसीदास सदा हरिचेरा, कीजे नाथ हृदय मंदिर। पवन तनय संकट हरण, मंगल मूर्ति रूप सिया राम। राम लखन सीता सहित, हृदय बसौ सुरभूप। सियावर रामचंद्र पद जय शरण। मंगल मूर्ति आर्तनंदन, सकल मंगल मूल निकंदन। मंगल मूर्ति आर्तनंदन, सकल मंगल मूल निकंदन। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम, श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम, श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम, श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम, श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम। राम जय राम जय जय राम, श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम, श्री राम जय राम जय जय। सीताराम 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 सीताराम। श्री राम जय जय राम, श्री राम जय जय राम। So, loka samasta, sukhino bhavantu. May all beings in the world be happy. May May they have the causes of happiness. May they not have the causes of suffering. May they be safe. May they be healthy. May we all have enough to eat. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. 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 Namaste. Take good care. Ram Ram.